This isn't your grandmother's food bank. It's bigger, smarter, faster, and a whole lot more than just cans on shelves. I'm Carrie Kavanaugh, and today we're learning about a place that's changing the way Maryland fights hunger with innovation, community, and one powerful idea: neighbors helping neighbors. We've got farms, chefs, mobile markets, and some seriously inspiring neighbors. Let's get into it. Food insecurity. You've heard the term, but what does it really mean? It's not just about missing a meal. It's about tough choices, stretched budgets, and invisible struggles that may be a lot closer to home than you think. Luckily, the Maryland Food Bank isn't just tackling the problem, they're rewriting the playbook.
What is food insecurity?
Excellent question. It means that someone doesn't have access to enough food to live a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. So rather than having meat and potatoes and vegetable for dinner, it might be a pack of Twizzlers and a Red Bull or a Coke or food from a fast food restaurant. So they don't know where their next meal is going to come from.
Food insecurity is so pervasive in our state. By our own research, some 1 in 3 Marylanders may be facing food insecurity today. It's people who live below the poverty line, at the poverty line, and well beyond the poverty line. Oftentimes, it's families where at least one of the adults is working.
The biggest misconception about food insecurity that I think is out there is that people think that there's just lazy people sitting at home not doing things. But what they don't understand is that people get in accidents, people have strokes, people get cancer, and the bills pile up.
Biggest myth about food insecurity, probably that, well, they should just get a job. And it's like, yeah, they have a job. And have you been to the grocery store recently?
Everything's going up. A dozen of eggs is like $6 or $7.
It impacts kids and seniors at the highest level. It impacts working families, rural communities, suburban communities, urban communities. So the scale of the problem is enormous. And what that often looks like is all of us. It's not defined by a certain neighborhood or zip code. It's not a certain age bracket, a certain racial demographic. It really touches every corner of our society.
Even working, a 40-hour-a-week job, there were some days where I had to decide where, I was going to eat because, we didn't have enough. I went to one food pantry and they said I made too much money. And I was upset, started crying. The only 2 meals my daughter would eat were at school. So being a parent, it weighs on you.
Well, is your car open? Yeah. Oh, I see it. Do you want it in the back seat?
A lot of people, they're like, I didn't bring any pay stubs, but the Maryland Food Bank is very welcoming. And they're like, no, you don't need pay stubs, just come shop.
Welcome to the Maryland Food Bank. This is our grand entryway. This is where we welcome all of our volunteers and visitors and help people get oriented to the work that we're doing here at the Maryland Food Bank. It's a 100,000 square foot warehouse here in Baltimore County, where the majority of our food is received and sorted and made ready for distribution. This gives you a little bit of a sense of how vast our warehouse is. Last year, our organization distributed more than 52 million pounds of food. Behind me here is our giant refrigerators, which are also connected to enormous freezers. This is where we keep a lot of the fresh produce and all the frozen food that we get in, so it stays safe and is ready to be distributed. Our warehouse team are experts in keeping the food that we receive safe, checking temperatures and checking expiration dates. They'll load it up and they'll get it out the door fast if it's produce, and obviously we have a little more time if it's shelf stable, but they really know how to manage that difference. This is when you think about what food banks are distributing, this is what food banks are distributing.
When we think about the work that we do, again, going back into what we might understand about food banking, it was kind of we'll take the food that's donated to us and we'll make sure to get it to people who need it. That's a very passive stance. That is not how we work today. We are very active, both in our procurement of food, so our sourcing. We're talking to food donors. We're educating food donors. Some 40% of the food that we distribute, we actually buy. This is no longer cans of food in an emergency situation. That's how food banking started some 50 years ago. We have come so far from that. And so while we're still distributing food, we're addressing the reasons that people are food insecure in the first place. We use data, we use strategy, and we're really intentional about how we do the work in communities across our state.
Not only are we promoting food access and nutrition, we are also building partnerships that are bringing relationships to families that can provide those resources. So things like health screenings, we do free flu shots, we've had Narcan training in areas that are highly populated with overdose. We have our SNAP team, we have our nutrition team that's coming out and providing recipes about the foods they're gonna receive that day. So it's very important to provide a well-rounded wraparound service because that's what's gonna fight food insecurity.
Well, you know what? You just made this old lady very, very happy.
The Maryland Food Bank is not your grandmother's food bank. Our impact values really speak to the work that we do. We are changing lives one plate at a time through the work that we do here.
We're feeding people today, which is important. We're never going to stop doing that. But we also want to be making a difference so that fewer people need us in the future. And that's the work that we do that we call ending hunger.
Let's talk about food at its freshest. Going beyond generously donated food, the Maryland Food Bank also buys food from local farms. That means Maryland-grown fruits and vegetables are landing on dinner tables statewide. From carrots to cantaloupe, local farmers are stepping up to grow not just food, but community. And when that food goes straight from farm to family, that's a win-win.
Welcome to Bartenfelder Farms. This is a produce farm, a poultry farm, and a grain farm. So I met this guy, Joe, in 2011 to get produce for the Maryland Food Bank. This, to me, is where Farm to Food Bank started, with the goal of procuring produce from across Maryland in one of three ways. One, we go to farmers' fields and we glean produce that's left behind using volunteers. Two, I'm able to purchase produce from Maryland farmers. And three, some farmers will reach out to me when they have donations to make, and we'll go to the farm and pick that up.
We've been farming forever, so it's been actually about 100 years, even though I'm not that old.
I work with farmers all across the state to get produce that's going to waste. I buy it, and we go into their fields and glean it.
I was mowing some corn that had already gotten older. The next day, Amy showed up in the field, and she said, there's an opportunity there for us to glean the field and use it for the food bank. I said, well, if you can get it off in time, help yourself to it. You never plant anything to have to mow it off or get rid of it. If it doesn't sell, the important thing is to get it to people who need it.
Here I am just starting Farm to Food Bank program. He's the first guy to allow gleaning with those folks. He's one of the first to donate. Since then, his family has grown.
This is my daughter, Jessie, son, Jamie, and other son, Joey. Our kids were brought up, and that's why they're still doing what we've been doing for years.
This is our family's farm. We're 8 generations. A lot of sacrifices. You got to keep going. And I mean, you work from 5 in the morning till 8, 9, 10 at night. But it's just something you love and kind of runs through your blood.
Us being able to pay a sustainable price to farmers is important. You know, we're not bringing in produce from California or Mexico, wherever it may be. We're being sustainable right here. We can do it.
We're buying from small and mid-sized farmers, so we are injecting purchasing dollars right into the local agricultural community. We're helping to support small businesses as they get up and running, which is really important.
It's so important as a farmer's daughter and as a person in general to be able to support these farmers. I've seen my dad struggle to make ends meet. I didn't know that maybe we were struggling because the interest rates were so high. I've got my dad's trailer and boxes I've hoarded for activities like this. One of the biggest rewards for me is to be able to support farmers and see farmers thrive, see Joe grow, see my potato guy grow. So to be a successful society, we have to have food. We have to take care of our farmers. I describe it as a win-win-win. It's a win for the farmer, it's a win for the food bank, and it's a win for the neighbors in need.
Well, don't worry, Amy will stay in touch. She'll say, did you know that you got cabbage that's ready? You don't lose by doing it. Whatever you donate, you get back through God's gifts to you. And that's what's important.
So when you're looking at food insecurity or just average Americans, we've got cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in our country. You've got stroke up there, cancer's up there, and a lot of that goes back to our diets. And so poor diets lead to poor health conditions. We are what we eat. To be able to provide this nutrient-dense broccoli, apples, cabbage, Scotch bonnet peppers, callaloo to these folks. I mean, they couldn't get this produce any more fresh unless they went into the field and picked it themselves. The fresher the produce, the more nutrients it contains. Therefore, we can help improve an individual's health. We're building healthier communities by keeping the produce local. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, maybe we'll do one afterwards with mussels or something.
For some Marylanders, getting to a grocery store isn't just inconvenient, it's nearly impossible. Whether it's distance, cost, or mobility, there are areas across our state that lack a grocery store or a food pantry. That's why the Maryland Food Bank doesn't wait for people to come to them. They go exactly where the need is. The mobile market brings healthy, dignified food choices right to the curb, and it's changing lives one stop at a time.
I would describe the mobile market as a 26-foot grocery store on wheels that enables us to go into communities that would not regularly have access to grocery stores. Bringing the mobile market to the communities we serve is important because otherwise they would not be able to access food. Everybody has the right to nutritious foods that they want and that they need for their family, for their dietary needs. What we do is we work off of regional strategies, and that strategy lets us know where those gap areas of service lie, and that's where we deploy our resources. Dignity and choice is very important to what we do.
This is my favorite pancake. I'm so happy.
The atmosphere when we arrive, people are very excited about the opportunity to shop for their own items. Neighbors may experience other programs that give them, just set items in a box, and they may not be interested in using all of those items. So the mobile market provides them with so many different varieties of items that they can choose for themselves. It's essentially, how can we make this the best customer service experience possible?
When we pull up, it's like 30 to 40 people already lined up waiting for. Like the first 20 people are our regulars, so we already know the majority of them. Most of the time, it's word of mouth.
As food banking has moved from being more of a transactional activity to something that's steeped in relationship and trust, there's no real distance between us as staff or volunteers and the people we serve. So we're neighbors, and the people we serve are neighbors too. We really view them as people who happen to be in need of food assistance.
This is like my 4th time. I always go for the produce because I have a lot of health issues and I need to eat healthy. And this makes it affordable for me, which is vital.
All right, I got you first.
Yes.
All right, how many's in your household, ma'am?
They're over there. 2.
2. A really important part of the job is listening to people's stories. This can be a very vulnerable time for a lot of people, so we also try to take the time to build relationships and just listen to people where they're at.
I'm disabled and I get a very limited income, and I don't qualify for food stamps, and so it's really difficult to eat fresh stuff. Like we wouldn't be able to afford a lot of this stuff.
It's really a blessing to get this food.
Coming into communities and doing work is one thing, but it's really not going to do anything until you listen to the story of the region and of the area that you're in and the people that live there. So that's a really huge part that people might not consider when thinking about the logistics and the impact of an event like this. For our meat options today, we have the chicken patties, obviously, and then whatever you all need from the stuff on the shelf, okay? Food insecurity can be a result of a lack of resources in so many other areas of life, like housing, health, education, all of those different types of things. Education about nutrition, it's not just, hey, we're here on this date, come pick up some food and we'll see you next time. It's what else can we bring to the table to try to answer this question and this issue of food insecurity.
It's really difficult to read a nutrition label. Not everybody knows what the contents of it mean. The SWAP program was created to basically rank foods either regular or green, and those things are based on salt, sugar, and saturated fat levels. So the yellow foods will have a medium amount, green will have the least, and red will have the most. So we recommend that people choose the green foods often, and we have them tagged in the truck so that people can see which foods are ranked.
They even giving out pamphlets with diet, detergent. They give out personal items, toilet paper, paper towel. All those things cost money. And so it's a blessing
food insecurity is not just about food. It is about a lot of those other barriers that households are facing that create that food insecurity. Things like health, lack of transportation, financial insecurity. And with us being able to go into areas where there is such need and demand for service and for food, we're able to engage with neighbors in a very personal way. We get to learn their habits. And it's really important for this program to make them feel like they're not being judged, like them standing in line is okay, because that's what we're here to do.
I know what it's like to be hungry, hopeless, and unseen. At the age of 16, I felt abandoned and alone, like the system wasn't going to work for me. But thankfully, I found a place that sees me. Now I'm becoming the person that I needed. I advocate for others in my community. But hunger hasn't stopped. Only together can we make things better. To donate, go to mdfoodbank.org/voices.
Here's where things really heat up, because at Maryland Food Bank, some of the most important tools aren't forklifts, they're frying pans. FoodWorks is a culinary training program where students gain real skills, real confidence, and in turn end up launching real careers. It's about more than feeding people, it's about fueling possibility. And let me tell you, these folks can cook.
You need some more lined up. Yeah. Perfect, baby. Nice, neat, organized. Y'all don't forget to smile, we having fun. You gotta handle it with care, a little gentle. My name is Monique Jordan. I'm the Director of Culinary Arts, as well as the Food Safety Officer at FoodWorks here at the Maryland Food Bank. FoodWorks is a 12-week intensive training program where we teach life skills and knife skills. What that means is the students come in, we give them the proper training from the American Culinary Federation. We want to make sure that we're giving them exactly what they need to be successful and what the industry wants. And not only learn how to cook, but also how to prepare themselves so that they can go out and not necessarily just get a job. They want to walk into their careers, and FoodWorks is helping them do that.
Everything has to have an intention. So before you're even cutting anything, you have to have a concept. And I think that's where it relates most in art.
Perfect French omelet, perfect. Thank you, thank you. Right now we're doing scrambled eggs, we're doing poached eggs, and we're doing French omelets. The secret is the heat. You have to control the heat and use the right amount of butter or oil.
Chef Mo taught me a lot of techniques of how to make it and how to frost in it and how to bake and make sure that it's at the right temperature.
Give it a little bit of love. Treat it like somebody you care about. Just go ahead. There you go.
With this class, definitely the word would be determination. Because I get a chance to talk to a few of them, and they are just determined to get the job done.
The program offers so much more than just skills in the kitchen. It offers case management, so soft skills, interview skills, business modeling, resume writing. We connect them to employers. We have a workforce development program that's helping work alongside them to get jobs.
Not only are they getting life skills and knife skills, we are providing food boxes every week. We're the Maryland Food Bank, why not? We are making sure that they have a transportation stipend every week so that they can get to and from school, and to just kind of offset the cost of not being able to work during that particular time.
How you doing over here?
Were you at FoodWorks?
Yes, I was here. My dad was bringing me back and forth, and he also had to work, though I didn't have a job at the time. The money that we had every week really helped me pay like my small bills that I had and get hygiene items that we couldn't afford at the time. So it was really, really supportive of them.
One of our main pillars is providing pathways out of hunger, and the FoodWorks program is the very testament to what that means. It's that full circle of life of giving somebody something that they can better themselves, better their families, better their situations for long term.
Okay.
You can put more together too. You got good nice skills.
Thank you.
Give me a little.
I was working as a Giants employee. I quit my job. After that, my mom asked me what I wanted to do, and I told her I wanted to cook. So she got me into this program.
When Lauren came to FoodWorks, she was very much interested. She was also one of the students who would stay after school and say, hey, Chef Mo, I know this dish that I want to create, but I don't know how to create it. And I said, well, hey, First, put it on paper. Next, figure out what your recipes are gonna be. Then we'll put it together from there. So she invested in herself. She spent the time learning. She asked all the right questions, and she's very successful now.
It does really put myself back in these shoes because like I was here at one point learning and experiencing the world and the culinary experience, but now that I'm in it, I'm like, oh, I need to actually give them some advice and help them out.
Everything you thought you knew about cooking, it just turned everything around for me. Like, I thought I knew how to make an omelet, and I found out I was making an omelet wrong for like a half a century. Look.
Food saved my life, because it could have been a different way for me. And I know for some of our students, this program has saved their lives. It is continuing to save lives.
They've improving so much. I love coming in here and helping them out and seeing them what they do. So it's really great.
Lauren won an internship for the New Psalmist Baptist Church. And after that, she was hired on full-time, and we're super proud of that.
It felt like a fever dream. I didn't know I was this good or this confident in what I do.
Y'all need to use this to your advantage.
Now I'm here working with Chef Jordan at the church. It changed my whole life.
As a chef, what I bring out, what you guys eat is absolutely my work of art, what I can put out to this world.
This program is not about me. It's about the person who shows up every day on time. And like this particular cohort, they will hold each other accountable. You are in a class with 24 people that you do not know. At some point, you're gonna need to take direction from them.
I feel like presentation is a part of your brand. So if your brand looks up to par, that's a reflection of you. If your food look good, you look good. If you look good, feel good, your food look good. In 6 weeks, I just know I want to be in a restaurant.
After I graduate from here, I was going to take my certifications with me, and then I'll go from there.
When I wrap up here, I'm probably going to do catering. This program is awesome. What it did for me, I know it could do for other people. And now I'm able to actually tell them and show them because I'll have my papers, my certificates, and everything.
Y'all looking good. Okay. I love it. I come to work to be able to make a difference in somebody else's life because somebody made a difference in mine, and just like that, it could have went another way, but it didn't. So it's my responsibility to pour into each and every student that come through. That the Maryland Food Bank is so much more than providing food. They are providing resources, and they are providing our community with an opportunity to go out into their careers.
Now, if you're thinking, I'm just one person, what difference can I make? You've clearly never worked alongside a crew of enthusiastic volunteers. It all starts here with the people who show up to give back. Some are here for the first time. Others come multiple times every week. But they all have one thing in common. They're proof that one person can make a big difference.
We need every single volunteer, and we're always looking for more volunteers. Just one person's effort does a lot for our organization. We try to break it down, every volunteer shift here, exactly what your impact was. But a single volunteer in a 2-hour shift can pack enough food for somebody to eat for a month.
Food banks can't operate without volunteers. That's been the case since day one. Whether they're here sorting food, whether they're answering the phones, whether they're packing meals in our kitchen, the thousands and thousands of hours that our volunteers put in every year is one of the reasons that we can scale. They are the backbone of our organization, and they are key to our success.
All label in your pack? Yeah. So has this been exciting?
Yeah, actually, it's like, I enjoy it, and it's helping someone, so.
That's exactly right. Somebody's gonna be very appreciative.
Yep.
The volunteer program supports Maryland Food Bank's work across the state. We host about 8,000 individual volunteers a year, accounting for about 40,000 hours of service, and they do a little bit of everything for the food bank.
Today, what they're doing is they're putting bags of rice, and then they'll go to the different pantries and food across the whole state.
Kate Murphy has been volunteering with the food bank for a very long time. She is a regular in our warehouse every Wednesday. She's a leader in that shift and just generally makes sure that the folks that are joining for the first time feel welcomed and respected in our volunteer program. She raises her hand for every sort of extra thing that we've asked our volunteers to do. She's a huge part of the program. That's why we were happy to present her with our Volunteer Excellence Award this year.
My name's Kate Murphy, and I'm a volunteer here at the Maryland Food Bank. I am the 2025 Volunteer of the Year. The Maryland Food Bank program is wonderful. Well, I've kind of always donated to the food bank, and then when I retired, it's like, gosh, you have a lot of time on your hands, so go to the charities that you believe in. And so I started coming to the food bank. They do a variety of things that you can volunteer for, and it helps people, and the best part is it's fun. You get to meet some really fun co-workers. You do a lot of lifting and taping and talking, and you don't have to go to the gym afterward. You're ready to go.
My last work was automation, pick and place, high-speed sortation, that kind of thing.
These people are like friends now, and it's, so how's your husband doing? Or, oh, where are you guys going on vacation this year? It's a community of people, and you always feel welcomed and comforted, and people are different, but it's like, yeah, okay, come on in.
Just to be around other people and see volunteers that just want to take part in something bigger than themselves that they're not getting anything from other than just good company and the sense of a rewarding day's work is really inspiring.
I have several volunteers who have been with me for 7-8 years. A volunteer having a positive experience is going to help recruit more volunteers. So there's a lot of trust that goes into doing this.
Growing up, food insecurity was nothing I really thought about. And then I was substitute teaching. One of the boys was naughty, and so I said, now you come in at lunchtime, I want to talk to you about, So at lunch, he comes in and says, I can come after school, I can even come tonight, but can I please go eat lunch? It's the only food I'm going to get today. And it was like, oh, hadn't realized that that was the case, and that there are people out there that the food they get is the food they get. But we can feed people. We have the food and the processes to do this.
I have so much hope when it comes to our ability to end hunger in our state. And that comes from the resilience of the families that I see who are accessing services. It comes from our food bank staff who are bringing their brilliance and their talent to this work every single day. It comes from our community partners who are opening their doors and committed to serving their communities and doing that work. It comes from our volunteers who are here week after week after week, coming back again and again to really contribute to this work. And it comes from the creativity from communities. We know what the solutions to hunger are. We just need to bring more resources to the fight.
If there's one thing we've learned, it's this. Hunger isn't simple, and neither is the solution. Farms, kitchens, trucks, people. It takes all of them and all of us to fight hunger. Maryland Food Bank is not just your grandmother's food bank. It's a movement, a mission, a mirror of what's possible when neighbors show up for neighbors. So volunteer, donate, share this story, because the next chapter in the fight against hunger starts with you.